Hey, thanks for watching. This is an end of August update on my progress to financial independence. It's been a little zooey, a little nutty, a little crazy out here. It is, like I said, the end of August, and financial independence is always the goal. The challenge right now is keeping on target. That's kind of where we are right now. So, kind of an update on what's going on. We had some typical summer stuff going on in reverse order. We had a barbecue for my husband's workplace last weekend, which is a lot of fun. Effort always to get out there, but tons of fun, beautiful weather, just perfect and a lot of fun again. And then we had the christening the week before that. So that was time and effort and travel, a lot of all of those things, but wonderful and really, really thankful that all the family was able to come out. It was a small group, but it was again, I was thankful that everyone was able to come out. So that's kind of what's been going on on the personal side. And here is how that relates to financial independence. So we've got two topics. I got the frivolous spending and I have the layoffs. So let me start with the layoffs in reverse order. So thank goodness nothing that's touched me. I'm still employed, which is great. It's the climate that we're in right now. Is there are extreme cost-cutting measures going on kind of everywhere. And anytime I hear about layoffs anywhere, it always kind of makes me go, ugh, because I feel empathy for who's ever getting laid off. And if you've been there, you know the feeling. It's not a great feeling. It's not the end of the world, but it sucks in the moment. Anytime, it's awful. So I really have empathy for that. Someone very close to me had recent layoffs, and that was so challenging. And as a result, I start to think about my own job and kind of making sure that I am doing the absolute best at my job. And there's also kind of a heightened level of vigilance, diligence that's going on in this climate. I'm in the digital marketing space. Very, very high, I would say, again, level of vigilance. There's cost cutting going all over. So really making sure that I personally am buttoned up, because that's all I can do, right? And there's never a good time to be laid off ever. So just making sure that I am doing everything I can to A, do the best that I can every single day, B, save what I can for a cushion. And that goes back to the challenging part about how I'm just barely covering expenses at this point. That's where it is. See the video on why don't I move. That's kind of an interesting, that'll kind of tell you everything. So that's number one, making sure that I'm doing the absolute best I can at my day job. And number two, making sure that I'm being responsible in my spending, which leads me to the frivolous spending aspect. So I am connecting these two things, the layoffs that I've been hearing about from people close to me, and then my own spending and making sure that I stay diligent as far as that's concerned. So I consider myself by nature a fairly frugal person, and I'm a planner. I like to plan things out as much as humanly possible, meaning I am not super prone to unplanned spending in general. Of course, there are things that I want that I just decide that I want right now. So in regard to the christening, I kept myself on a very strict budget as far as what I was going to spend. I had an amount in mind that I thought was $100, and I thought that's like about, I want to say 2% of my I want to say what the percentage of my take home that is. So just to make sure that it was A, appropriate for what I'm bringing home in my current financial situation, and B, that it commemorated the occasion, because, I want to look back on the occasion and say, oh, like I did everything I could to get ready with everything I had for that, meaning shop my own closet, the baby's closet as well, making sure the little one, she's not a baby anymore, making sure that I kind of use what I have first. So that I got myself a new dress that was $40, and I got her a new dress that was $30. So it's $70 total. So again, and her dress will have sort of commemorated. So that was a spending there. But then I was like, oh, I kind of was starting to feel myself at my age. And I was like, oh, it would be nice if I had a little refresh in my makeup. Now, as far as personal care can be a sticky subject, but on the topic of makeup, I spend maybe $200 for the whole year on makeup. I do this for a birthday sale in October, and that's like my refresh for my makeup every year. I spent just recently, they didn't have the thing that I really wanted. I tried something else from a drugstore. It didn't really work as well. So just recently I bought a concealer that was out of stock at Sephora, that had been discontinued at Sephora. They had discontinued this particular item and I was able to find it in a store close to us. It cost $40. I'm like, to me, I was like, that's extravagant. That's more than half what I spent on the christening stuff. Like that's just a lot of money. And then I'm thinking that could be an early birthday present. My birthday's in October. So that's kind of what I think I'm going to put it at. But for me, putting these two things in context and saying, live as though it's a gift that you have your job. I'm thinking that to myself. So that is what I am trying to reframe my salary as, that I get, instead of taking it for granted, really appreciating every single dollar that comes into my bank account as not just something that I put on autopilot, because I have all my bills on autopay. And I'm thinking, I just kind of take that for granted that I have that income coming in, and I never want to do that. Especially now, I want to be very mindful of all the money I have and not start to get complacent in my spending, or start to despair and feel like things are never going to change, so why bother saving? So that's kind of the mindset that I'm in at the moment as far as spending goes. And then the whole no buy year challenge, and I've got an update coming on that, because I knew kind of at the outset, like I have an infant, soon to be toddler. It's going to be very challenging to separate needs from wants. I think as far as that goes, we've done really, really well as far as not buying superfluous stuff for the baby. I know I've done really well. So my mother, thank goodness, is such a thrift. She goes to thrift stores, so she thrifts a lot of clothes for the baby. I had mentioned I needed pants for her, and my mother got 2 pairs of pants in two sizes ahead for $1, and they're great. Like, they're great pants, and I'm like, excellent, because she has the time to do that, and I so appreciate it. So I'm like, done, kid, for the fall. So as far as frivolous spending going, I'm really aiming to sort of reset my spending, and I'm kind of due for that because I don't reconcile my budget on the monthly. I think a quarterly reset's certainly coming. We're mid-quarter right now, so definitely a good time to look over expenses and make sure that I am being realistic and yet optimistic in what I'm able to accomplish with the income that I have. Okay. So that's where we are. That was kind of the long and rambly talk. Actually, there's 2 things. So the layoffs and then the frivolous spending that I've got going on my journey to financial independence. That's where it stands at this point in August. So thank you as always so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Let me know how you're doing, how your spending is going. I'd love to hear from you and your financial independence updates. Take care. Bye.